Welcome to Valor Stories. In each episode, we honor a hero awarded the highest gallantry medal, celebrating their courage and sacrifice. Join us as we bring their legacies alive. On March 1966 at Camp A Chau, Thua Thien Province, Vietnam, Bennie Adkins, a sergeant first class, braved intense enemy fire to man a mortar position, rescued wounded soldiers, and repelled waves of Viet Cong attackers for over 38 hours in close combat. Despite being wounded 18 times, he continued to fight, contributing to the elimination of an estimated 135 to 175 enemy combatants. His remarkable courage and resilience under dire circumstances exemplify the highest ideals of military service. Bennie Adkins was born in Waurika, Oklahoma, on February 1, 1934. Drafted into the United States Army in 1956, Adkins' military journey began with an assignment to a garrison unit in Germany, followed by a stint with the 2nd Infantry Division at Fort Benning, Georgia. His early career saw a pivotal turn when he attended airborne school, leading to his voluntary service in the Special Forces in 1961. Adkins' dedication to the military was evident in his over 13 years of service with various Special Forces groups, including the 7th, 3rd, 6th, and 5th. His commitment and skills were further honed through multiple deployments to the Republic of Vietnam between 1963 and 1971, setting the stage for his extraordinary acts of valor in the years to come. He was initially decorated with Distinguished Service Cross, but upgraded to Medal of Honor on September 15, 2014. Sergeant First Class Bennie Adkins distinguished himself by acts of gallantry and intrepidity at the risk of his life above and beyond the call of duty while serving as an intelligence sergeant with Detachment A-102, 5th Special Forces Group, 1st Special Forces, during combat operations against an armed enemy at Camp A Chau, Republic of Vietnam, from March 9th to 12th, 1966. When the camp was attacked by a large North Vietnamese and Viet Cong force in the early morning hours, Sergeant First Class Adkins rushed through intense enemy fire and manned a mortar position, continually adjusting fire for the camp, despite incurring wounds as the mortar pit received several direct hits from enemy mortars. Upon learning that several soldiers were wounded near the center of camp, he temporarily turned the mortar over to another soldier, ran through exploding mortar rounds, and dragged several comrades to safety. As the hostile fire subsided, Sergeant First Class Adkins exposed himself to sporadic sniper fire while carrying his wounded comrades to the camp dispensary. When Sergeant First Class Adkins and his group of defenders came under heavy small arms fire from members of the Civilian Irregular Defense Group that had defected to fight with the North Vietnamese, he maneuvered outside the camp to evacuate a seriously wounded American and draw fire, all the while successfully covering the rescue. When a resupply airdrop landed outside the camp perimeter, Sergeant First Class Adkins moved outside the camp walls to retrieve the much-needed supplies. During the early morning hours of March 10, 1966, enemy forces launched their main attack, and within 2 hours, Sergeant First Class Adkins was the only man firing a mortar weapon. When all mortar rounds were expended, Sergeant First Class Adkins began placing effective recoilless rifle fire upon enemy positions. Despite receiving additional wounds from enemy rounds exploding on his position, Sergeant First Class Adkins fought off intense waves of attacking Viet Cong. Sergeant First Class Adkins eliminated numerous insurgents with small arms fire after withdrawing to a communications bunker with several soldiers. Running extremely low on ammunition, he returned to the mortar pit, gathered vital ammunition, and ran through intense fire back to the bunker. After being ordered to evacuate the camp, Sergeant First Class Adkins and a small group of soldiers destroyed all signal equipment and classified documents, dug their way out of the rear of the bunker, and fought their way out of the camp. While carrying a wounded soldier to the extraction point, he learned that the last helicopter had already departed. Sergeant First Class Adkins led the group while evading the enemy until they were rescued by helicopter on March 12, 1966. During the 38-hour battle and 48 hours of escape and evasion, fighting with mortars, machine guns, recoilless rifles, small arms and hand grenades, it was estimated that Sergeant First Class Adkins had killed between 135 and 175 of the enemy while sustaining 18 different wounds to his body. Sergeant First Class Adkins' extraordinary heroism and selflessness above and beyond the call of duty are in keeping with the highest traditions of military service and reflect great credit upon himself. Detachment A102, 5th Special Forces Group, 1st Special Forces, and the United States Army. Following his retirement from the Army in 1978, Adkins pursued higher education, earning a bachelor's degree from Troy State University in 1979. He didn't stop there. He went on to obtain 2 master's degrees, one in education in 1982 and another in management in 1988, from the same institution. Parallel to his academic pursuits, Adkins founded the Adkins Accounting Service in Auburn, Alabama, where he served as CEO for 22 years. His commitment to education extended to teaching, as he spent 10 years teaching night classes at Southern Union Junior College in Alabama and 6 years at Auburn University. Beyond his professional endeavors, Adkins, along with his wife, played an active role in the Opelika-Auburn communities in Alabama. They dedicated themselves to mentoring students, both in their academic pursuits and those interested in military service, particularly in the Special Forces. Adkins' post-war life was a testament to his dedication to lifelong learning, community service, and the nurturing of future generations. His awards and decorations include the Distinguished Service Cross, the Silver Star Medal, 2 Bronze Star Medals, the Purple Heart with 4 oak leaf clusters, the Vietnamese Cross of Gallantry with palm, the Vietnamese Croix de Guerre, the Combat Infantryman Badge, the Special Forces Tab, the Master Parachutist Badge, 2 Foreign Parachutist Badges, and 22 service medals. Command Sergeant Major Bennie G. Adkins passed away on April 17, 2020, due to complications from COVID-19. Adkins will always be honored and remembered as a true American hero. Thank you for subscribing and for your time spent watching Valor Stories. Until next time, remember their courage.
I was just an average soldier. That was my job. I try to tell the young folks, whatever you want to do, be the best that you can be at it. I hope that no one else has to experience this. It is a form of hell. The medal that I wear is not for me, but it's for those other 16 Special Forces soldiers, with special emphasis to the 5 that paid the ultimate price. They deserve this around my neck rather than me.